It's me. What'd you expect? You want topics? Bet we got something coming up for y'all next. Yes, sir. Another episode of We Here Now podcast. I am your host, Mario on Point. Here to keep y'all on point. So let's just get right to the point. Let's get right into it. As all you guys may have known, it has hit the news that Cardi B is filing from divorce from Offset once again. Now I gotta say once again, because like most of you guys know, even if these aren't your favorite artists, they're famous enough where you definitely have heard about them before. But like I was saying, this isn't the first time. I think this is the third time now they've actually has a little situation for filing with divorce. We just gotta speak on it. Speak on it entirely. What's going on? Okay. Now, a lot of rumors coming out after the divorce that maybe it was some cheating, some infidelity, just some lies, something that you can't really do, or you're held to a higher standard when you're actually in a marriage. Now people think this like, okay, well they're famous, they live a different lifestyle, they kind of got to be an entertainer, entertain the fans, be engaged, stuff like that. All that is cool, but all that really means is that you're gonna have more eyes on you. Now, like I spoke about before, this is the first time they have gone through a situation like that. First time it actually happened. I forget what year it was, but it's been a couple years now. Okay, just say it with me. But they got divorced, whatever. Offset showed up on stage, giving Cardi the flowers, really trying to profess his love for his woman and get his girl back. Now, obviously, shortly after that, they end up getting back together. All good, no big deal. Time after that, another similar situation. And that's the weird part because all seems to revolve around Offset cheating. So when you hear this third time that they're getting divorced again, that is something you have to take in consideration. But once again, get divorced again, revolving around the same thing that Offset may or may not be cheating or may have got caught cheating. Now, the problem is, now I don't like to be the person that's like, okay, once a cheater, always a cheater. But just based off somebody and how they act, that can kind of give you a little foreshadowing of what you can see in the future. Now, for Offset, it's gonna make it a little bit hard for him because, like I mentioned, first time they got divorced, he comes on stage, he gets with the flowers, all such a little cute moment. Girls talking about this is goals, not knowing that he was already cheating on her. Now he's putting his best foot forward trying to get her back. Is the only reason why he's doing it, right? But the problem is when you do that is, excuse me, you can't do that every single time though, right? If you get caught for doing something, baby, I'm sorry, I'm gonna change, I'm not gonna do it again. Damn, my bad. But she's under the impression that it's not gonna happen again. Now, even if she does have a little doubt in her mind that she trusts you all the way, women are willing to give you a chance. Like I said, the pros outweigh the cons. You're always going to have a chance. And depending on what it is that you do, is obviously going to make a difference. Now, when it comes to domestic violence and stuff like that, which we've talked about on this channel before, I feel like stuff like that is a little bit harder, but not to say it is impossible if you guys have seen this channel before. Now, with Offset, it's not a good look, right? Because obviously with everything going on, another divorce as well. Cardi actually did announce that she is also pregnant as well and has a baby on the way. Now, to divorce your husband after, you've been pregnant already, she's already kind of shown, but they kind of kept it under wraps or whatever the case may be. But taking the fact that that's already going on with the kid, the fact that she's even filing for divorce from Offset, it's kind of letting it might be actually something valid or something there that's actually really bothering her for them to move on. Now, she mentioned it's irreconcilable differences. Now, anytime you hear somebody using that irreconcilable word, you only hear it in marriages, and you only hear when people don't want to give the full layout of what was really going on. But like I mentioned before, with Offset and his history, possible repeat offender when it comes to cheating. So, like I said, you can't never throw that out. But I look at this a little bit different with Cardi because despite everything that Offset's put Cardi through, Cardi has always held Offset down. Even when people are coming at him, she always stands in a lot of defense and is always willing to stand up for her man. So I don't think too much into this. Her saying irreconcilable differences. I'm thinking she's just doing that to not paint Offset in a negative light, which, you know, big ups to her because a lot of people in general, when you deal with a female, you do her wrong. Um, Even the slightest wrong doing to a female, they'll try to blow everything out of proportion and make things seem a lot more worse than what they actually were. So, shots to Cardi for keeping it respectful. I mean, Offset is the husband. Um, well, not only the husband to you, but he's also the father of your kids. So when you are talking bad about your husband and putting it out there for everybody else to see, you're making it comfortable for other people to talk about your husband as well. Now, even if you choose not to, pile in and shit on your husband, people are still going to do it anyways. But I think it happens more frequently when the person who should be most mad about it is actually making it a point to everybody else as well that she's mad about it. But a lot of this speculation started to come when people were seeing pictures were going viral about Offset being with a certain female that he may or may not have dealt with in the past, which is always going to be a red flag. You're talking about a marriage, let alone a girlfriend. You know what I mean? Anytime you got a situation going on and you're dealing with an old situation you used to have, is always going to play out poorly because one, the person that you're currently dealing with doesn't know how deep the history goes with you and that person, and second, it's a bad look just in general. If you got a new situation, why is you trying to even flirt with the situation of another female? You know what I mean? That's just like you get a nice house, 6 bedrooms, you got 3 bathrooms, 2-car garage. Why would you be worried about even trying to get to the point again? It's like, oh, psh, I'm kicking it. I'm gonna kick it in the hood. I'm kicking it. I'm keeping it in or kicking it in apartments. I'm going to a one bed, the trailer parks, whatever. You're not going to downgrade like that or even revert back to something maybe you were used to living like, but you're not living like that anymore. So it's kind of counterintuitive if you actually care about the person that you're actually dealing with. Now, there's always going to be a red flag, like I said. Now, even somebody with Cardi who is always willing to stand by her man and stand up for him, I think even with that, that is hard for her to even try to defend because just in general is unfair. Especially if you're dealing with somebody and we're talking about celebrities, so it's always a little bit different because they're forced to deal with more people. But let's just bring it down to like a smaller level, just a local level, right? If you're dealing with somebody, start dealing with somebody else new, and then somebody from the past, and they start coming around when you got your little future situation going on, right? Now, if your new situation knows about that past situation, maybe it makes it a little bit more easier, right? But if you got a new situation and then you bring an old situation around and you play it off like it's nothing, and your girl find out like, oh, y'all actually used to mess around back in the day, like that's gonna be a problem. Like even if y'all didn't do anything, like then when y'all met up again, it's just the fact of you being deceitful and lying about it is never going to sit right with anybody. I mean, most people in relationships, because the whole point of being in a relationship, like I always talk about, y'all are a team. Y'all do stuff together. You sacrifice for your team just for the betterment of the team in general. You know what I mean? You guys are all working towards one common goal, and that's success, whatever that may look like, right? If your teammate is not letting you know certain things and keeping it away from you, it's not going to be good for the team because like now your teammate knows some information and you don't even know about, and you think y'all playing on an even playing ground. Let alone like this person might got ulterior motives because they're just not telling you about the situation. Like in a relationship, I think that's the most crucial part to any relationship is that open line of communication. Now it's always hard when you're dealing with a new situation and it's an old situation from the past that may have unintentionally crept into your life through no control of yours, right? It's an uncomfortable situation, but I think at the end of the day, you always got to be open if you do care about the relationship. Like your girl can be mad that you even brought up the situation or whatever, that she's forced to be in the situation or whatever the case may be, but she can't be mad at the fact that you were open with her and you let her know because you don't want it to be a situation where somebody else is telling your girl about something that you could have just told her about, right? So honestly, you just got to keep a lot of that stuff up front, and hope for the best. Because clearly Offset didn't do this. The fact that Cardi possibly knew about this girl from the past, so when he sees Cardi, or when Cardi sees Offset with her, it kind of doesn't sit right. Right? That's like your girl telling you about, you liking girl's picture on IG. It's like, babe, I really don't like when you like that girl's picture. Can you respectfully not like her picture? Like, babe, I'm gonna go ahead and unfollow her. Don't even worry about it. 2 weeks later go by, you liking a recent picture again. Like that's always gonna go down bad, no matter how you want to shape it, how you want to try. Oh, well, I did. Well, it's they had a new baby and they got married. Your girl not trying to hear none of that, because if you already let them know up front, like, yo, I'm gonna make it right for you respectfully. I'm not gonna have you be forced to deal with stuff like that. So I'm gonna make it right, and then you kind of like go back in your word. That's gonna make anybody feel any type of way. But honestly, though Cardi and Offset situation, uh, Cardi pretty much is chalked up as they grew apart, which says a lot. Like I said before, Cardi has always done her best to not paint Offset in a bad light. Now, obviously, she's had moments, emotional moments where she's going off on tangents and stuff like that about what was going on with Offset. Like even like last year when Offset, he dropped the album, he got a little buzz. Cardi felt like Offset wasn't treating her the way that he should have been treating her, or like he was treating her before he started to get that little buzz again. Not to say that Offset ever had fall off, but it was like it was just like it wasn't a steady decline, a steady incline. It was just a steady pace going all the way through. He drops the album, he starts feeling himself, he starts kind of treating Cardi a different way. And as a female, I can understand why she would feel that way, because like, yo, if I held you down when you really wasn't even popping like that, and now you got popping again, it's kind of like, don't start treating me different, because Cardi has never struck me as someone who's ever treated Offset differently. You never hear about Cardi B being with or other guys. It's like, oh, Cardi was out with this mystery man and a comment on the picture. But it's like, it seems like Offset constantly seems to do that to Cardi B, which, me personally, I don't think that's fair. Not trying to even pick a side. I'm just thinking about me in a relationship. Like, if I'm dealing with a female and she doing all this stuff and I'm not doing all this stuff, but like she feel like she's obligated to do it because of whatever hierarchy there might be, that's already a problem. Like I said, we supposed to be teammates. Like you don't treat me any less than you would treat anybody else if we supposed to be, you know, on the same team. But at the end of the day, um, I don't know. I don't know if this ever be for surely set in stone. Just get my final takes on this whole situation, because obviously they already have. I think they have 3 kids already together. They have 2 or they have 3 kids already, and then assuming the other baby is Offset's kid as well. They have another. Even as ugly as it may look, um, which is with situation like that, you kind of just wait to see how they kind of unfold, because we truly don't know. We're not in the relationship. We've known them to be in the public eye together for a long time, so obviously they have that history there. I don't think Cardi has ever made statements about Offset being a bad father, so I don't think it's gonna be a situation where she's keeping the kids away from Offset. But honestly, I don't know. I'm sure they'll get it figured out. They're celebrities. We always involve ourselves what's going on with celebrities and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they live a different lifestyle than most of us are actually used to. So we can't put too much energy into it. But we will be tracking to see how this goes, because, like I said, this isn't the first time they filed for divorce, but it is the third time. You know what they be saying? Third time might be a charm. So we'll stick around and see how that plays out. But let me drop some comments down below. Let me know how you guys feel about the situation. Does Cardi B have a valid reason that she need to get rid of Offset? Is Offset just a habitual line crosser and a cheater, and he's not appreciative of Cardi? Is somebody else going to appreciate Cardi the way she needs to be appreciated, or is Offset doing that already? Now we're going to go to a commercial break, and on the other side, I'm going to hit y'all with another topic. Like I said, a lot of y'all come back with another topic. Y'all know we like to do this thing. Break it up, 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 break it up. But this next post, I'm gonna display this one on screen as well. Boom. Now, what you guys are seeing there with your very eyes is a man walking. Looks like he's holding a little baby carriage or whatever you want to call it. And he's walking on the side of the street, and it says, man says his girlfriend kicked him out of her car after he made her monthly payment. He said, I just paid her car note and insurance. She put me out on the side of the road. What am I? Now, let's really talk about this, because whenever we have a situation where you see a man, not choosing to provide for kids, whether they're rightfully his kids or not, whatever the case may be, we like to get on these men a lot, give them smoke. And when I say we, I mean y'all females like to do so a lot, or the men that just like to cater to how women feel. Based, they don't got no real opinion how they really feel. They just gonna base on what the female's saying. But they just don't. But we gonna talk about it, because back in the day, I don't even want to say back in the day, but like y'all seen clips like that. I'll bring up a certain clip for example. It was a clip where a guy, kid went to go get his son. Mother is there. She has a couple different kids with different men. So when the dad pulls up, he brings McDonald's, but he brings it just to his son. Now, it was just this big viral conversation that was happening around the time. Everybody's talking about how the man is wrong because there's other kids in the house. How you just going to feed him, or just feed your kid and not feed the rest of the kids? But technically, the rest of the kids aren't his, right? But everybody was saying that's wrong, yada, yada, yada. You got the kids in the house. If you already know it's kids in the house, how you just going to bring kids for him and nobody else? But, like, it's other food in the house. Like, that's not really his responsibility. But y'all gave him that smoke. Let's give this young lady the smoke as well. Now, her name has not been actually identified. But, like I said, everybody always got something to say about deadbeat dads. But we're going to talk about some deadbeat mom. Because, ladies, I get it. Emotional creatures, emotional beings, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes they make decisions based off emotion, how they feel in the moment, whether it's right or wrong, but basically just how it made them feel. But you were that emotional that you kicked out not only your baby father, but you kicked out your baby as well. Now, you got this man walking on the side of the road with his baby. Now, granted, I was looking at the picture. It looked like he does have a little Louis V belt around his neck, so I'm sure he could have called an Uber to pick up him and his child. But that is beyond the point. We got to talk about this deadbeat mom, because that's cold, right? Granted, it's in the daytime, it's not nighttime, but anytime you're putting your baby in a situation where a baby is not supposed to be at, we got to fault you for it. We got to. Because regardless of whatever happened, gone through his phone, made some cheating, yada yada, whatever the case may be, all of that is unexcusable. Regardless, to leave your baby and the baby, and I keep saying like baby and the baby's father's baby. No, the baby and your baby that you left on the side of the road. Now, I get it. I don't get it, but we just got to do the same smoke to the women, because a lot of times conversations seem to be revolving around baby, or what the fathers aren't doing, and not being a parent, and not making this money and child support and all this other stuff. But it's like, that's why when stories like this pop up, we got to talk about it as well, because it's just as well as many deadbeats or as many deadbeat moms as there is deadbeat dads, right? But it seems like it doesn't get the same attention, because like I was saying before, women a little bit more emotional. They'll justify things just based on how they emotionally feel. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's ever okay to leave. I mean, cool. You and your baby daddy got something going on, and whatever y'all can't seem to get right. All right, cool. That's on y'all. Y'all gonna have to figure it out how y'all figure it out. But when you start doing stuff and it's starting to affect the baby, that's where you start to have a problem, because like it's an innocent person, an innocent bystander, and all this, who has no control of what goes on, who is just literally there for the circus. You know what I mean? But shout out to his dad, because obviously he stayed with his baby. And I don't know. It's always weird though too when you see situations like this, and then like it's a picture of like the little situation, because it makes you think like, is it trolling or is it real? I think it's definitely 100% real, because What man would lie about him and this baby getting kicked out the car? Fellas, just show hands. Have you ever dealt with a female and she's tried to kick you out the car before? There's your answer. I know I wasn't crazy like this. Stuff like this definitely, um, definitely do be happening. But it's a social media era, so we always gotta look um things just a little bit closer than we normally would because it's just a lot of stuff going on. But I think this actually was real. You know, he just set up his phone like it's probably like a little fire hydrant, like a little park bench. He put his phone on, and then he was carrying his baby. So not only was he a good father, but he's also a good promoter as well. Very useful when it comes to social media because I'm sure now whoever knows this person, whoever knows the dad, and then knows the girl as well, they gonna give her the rightful smoke that she definitely deserved. Oh well, I came back and nah, there ain't no picture of you coming back. So as far as we know, whatever we saw on camera, that's what happened. And you dead wrong. Um, but just let this be a sign not only for men, but for this really for the men. Honestly, be careful who you having babies with. You know, even though she's fine and all this stuff, you obviously want to deal with a person who's going to be inept to actually um I want to say that I want to say she's actually capable and she has the want to actually want to be a mother, not somebody when she gets mad at you, she gonna take it out on the baby because at the end of the day, no matter what y'all two got going on, like you want to deal with somebody who's actually gonna still, show some type of respect and decency for your baby. So like even if y'all, y'all together and y'all end up breaking up and y'all co-parent, even if y'all got a co-parent, like confidently you got somebody who actually gives a damn about being, an actual parent and actually being in their kid's life and make sure that their kids are always going to be, protected. They're always going to be safe. But fellas, just something for you guys out there to think about because it's definitely a crazy world. And the people that you expect to do things, people that aren't supposed to do things and they do things, it get tricked sometimes. So just be on y'all P's and Q's and make sure y'all care about these women that y'all dealing with. But y'all let me know. I just gotta ask, kind of already know how you guys are gonna lean towards this. Is the baby mama wrong? Does she have a good reason? Is the baby daddy right? Or is this dude lying? I just curiously want to know. But it's been another episode of Do We Hear Now podcast. I appreciate you guys again for tuning in. This is your first time tuning in. I hope there's enough content to make you want to tune in. And if it's something you want me to talk about, I'm not necessarily taking requests. But if you drop something in the comment that you're interested in, I'll be looking at the comments. I know what's going on, so I might tap into that. And if you are a recurring follower and you've been locked in since we started doing this thing, or even if you came on board late, and then you still watch, or you started watching and you fell off and you came back, whatever you choose to do, I appreciate y'all. Man, I just can't thank y'all enough. But before I get out of here, y'all know we still doing the little trifecta challenge. If I can get a like, a comment, and subscribe, send me a screenshot of it. I'll post it on my gram. We're going crazy. But this has been another episode of Do We Hear Now podcast. I've been your boy marioonpoint. Don't forget to hit that comment, drop a comment, hit the like, drop a subscribe, whatever you want to do, it's fine. We're about here.